we facilitate the healing. We leave a space and we bring the energy, and people can take as much as they need from it. It certainly helped me in my career when I worked for government, just to keep even keel, and to just kind of bring that calm. People always said, "Oh, you're so calm." Well, I don't know. I'm glad it looks that way. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but being able to be centered.
Welcome, I'm Diana Fels, and thanks for joining me. I'm passionate about helping people transform for their own light to shine. I'm super excited to be in Osaka in Japan with Walter Quan. And he's someone I met through the Reiki journey, and he started his journey in the 80s, I think. It was a long time ago, and has a lot of knowledge, and to me he's like a walking library. I'm like, Walter, what do you know about this? Walter, what do you know about this? And I thought it'd be lovely to hear his journey about how he got into Reiki and maybe what he likes about Reiki. So welcome, Walter.
Thank you. What fun. Yeah, we're on this trip in Japan, going to sacred sites, I keep saying, to friends, and they say, what? So Reiki. Yeah, I came to Reiki in 1987. I was at the New Age bookstore in Vancouver, and I found a friend from theater circles floating through the store. And I said, okay, Karen, what are you doing? And she said, oh, we're in the middle of a Reiki workshop. Next time there is one, I'll call you and let you know. So the phone rang, and she said, okay, there's this weekend workshop, and it's Friday night, it's Saturday, it's Sunday, and it's $150, and come along. And I said, $150, what does that mean? You know, and is it a religion? No. Is it a, what is it? Oh, it isn't anything specific. Is it a method? No. Is it what, you know, all those questions. And she said, I'll put our teacher on to you. And so I've talked to Leah Smith, who's a student of Carol Farmer's, who's a student of Philip Furamoto's. And Leah just said, and I said, is it a religion? No. Is it a method? No. Is it a practice? What, you know, all that stuff. And she said, just come, just trust. And I did, and you know, here I am 30-something years later. The rest is history. So I did first level that weekend. I mean, it was kind of part of my spiritual development in the 80s as well. But yeah, and then did second level the next year. Leah had moved away from town, so I was with one of her equivalent level teachers, and did second level with Anne McMurtry. And then a year later, Leah was coming back to teach. And she used to do these amazing courses where she would have level ones working with some of the senior students. She'd have level twos going. She'd have level three people helping, assisting. But she said, do you want to do level 3 for personal growth? Okay, sounds neat. So that was the spring of '89. Then later on, she said, oh, well, I've met William Rand, and he's teaching in Seattle, not too far from Vancouver. You could consider going. So I went and did William's class, the advanced Reiki training and Reiki 3, and came back and said, oh, I guess I'm a Reiki master. And we had interesting conversations about that, because I think just taking the course doesn't mean that you're committed to the mastery that means, and committed to the path. You need to find out about teaching. You need to find out about what it means to be in the energy for that time. And then, so I sat with that for a while. I teach individuals when they come to me. I don't really teach classes per se, and I certainly treat as it comes as well. I was very fortunate to be in Vancouver in 1999 when Hiroshi Doi brought so-called traditional Japanese Reiki to the West. There were 60 Reiki masters from all over the world, including the likes of Arjava Petter and William Rand and people, and Leighton Atenea and all kinds of, and Rick Rivard and folks organized. It was fabulous because, you know, we've basically been taught that Reiki died in Japan after Hayashi finished and taught and passed it to Mrs. Takata. And to find out that Reiki was continuing in Japan, and there was a whole Reiki association, was just everybody was mind blown. And when he first taught us the way that Reiki's passed, the Reiki in Japan, all of our minds were blown as well. So it was pretty profound.
Yeah,
And then after that, my brother Andy went to Australia, and I had given him third level. And he said, "Oh, there's these great folks that have taken me in. They have practice groups, and it's been really neat." And some groups, some Reiki folks are not as open to folks from other lineages or even an alternate lineage. And I said, "Oh, well, that's great. I'll have to meet them at some point or another." Of course, at that point was Franz and Ronald Stena. And I think in 2009, there was a flyer around Victoria where I live, and it said Franz Stena teaching Shinpeten level 3 in Victoria. And I said, "Oh, well, I guess if he's come all the way to my backyard, I'll have to sign on." And I've worked with Franz off and on since. I think I've done Shinpeten with him 8 times. One day I'll get it right. And been to retreats, and now on this fabulous trip.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And it's wonderful you've trained with so many trainers, and also Hiroshi Doi, isn't it?
And Hiroshi Doi a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And even just being a part of that 1909 seminar, because a lot of people talk about that who've never been, but it becomes a conversation in many books, even though they haven't been. So that was a memorable moment. So you've seen a lot of history.
I have seen a lot of history. And then one of the other kooky things that I ended up doing was that I decided, our traditional concept of academic masters is that you're supposed to have done the literature search. You're supposed to know all the books in your either wide or small or narrow area of practice. And so I have collected, I think I have at least 150 Reiki books from over the years. I mean, in the early days, it was easy because there weren't any books. It was an oral tradition, and people weren't supposed to write anything down. I now have many of the books. I don't collect them all anymore because I can't keep up. I can't afford to keep up, and there's lots of repetition and stuff that's already been said. I'm kind of interested in books that are saying something new, that are contributing to the body of knowledge that we have, and saying something differently or bringing new perspectives. That's what's more important. I think here's the Reiki history as it was told by Mrs. Takata. You can already see that in books. Like, why write it down again? So I have all the books, so-called, but we'll see.
And Walter's been a great source sometimes to ask about those sort of things. What books should I read, or people I could contact, because obviously you've been around the block for a long time. And you obviously read a lot, which is good. And also even on this trip, because you've got a sort of a Buddhist sort of background of training and teachings that you learn about as well, and so that's been great to sort of ask questions. So yeah, it's great having that walking library with me. Go, Walter, tell me about this. Tell me about that.
It's all about the food, really, ultimately. And what food have we got? Good.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm eating half the time, so I just eat it, and then someone asks me, I don't know. I just ate it, but I don't know.
I mean, we were raised in Vancouver, but with lots of Japanese food influences, and also mamas from Hawaii, which has a strong Japanese community. So when it comes to food, I recognize these at least, or have eaten them before, maybe, mostly.
Awesome. And so what do you love about Reiki? Because obviously you've been doing it a long time, so what's your passion about it?
I mean, it's certainly the aspects of healing and bringing energy that people can use for their own healing is really important to me. I've always had a business card that says healing facilitator rather than necessarily Reiki master, which I'm happy with the term. That's fine. It's coming to use, and that's what we do. But we facilitate the healing. We leave a space, and we bring the energy, and people can take as much as they need from it. It certainly helped me in my career when I worked for government, just to keep even keel, and to just kind of bring that calm. People always said, "Oh, you're so calm." Well, I don't know. I'm glad it looks that way. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but being able to be centered. Franz talks a lot about oneness and non-duality, and what I appreciate about him as a teacher is that he can embody that oneness and non-duality, and all we have to do is just grab on for the ride. and that's really lovely. And if I can do even part of that, that's great. I certainly see it in my Buddhist teachers, my late Buddhist teacher, Thangpa Rinpoche, Tibetan Buddhist master, a living Buddha, really. And can we aspire to a little bit of that? Great. If Reiki takes me there, so much the better.
Great, excellent. And so, do you have any parting words of wisdom that you'd like to share?
I've been musing about this as we go to lots of different temples,
Yeah.
and we look for the symbols and we look for reminders of the temples, and I keep thinking, but we need to practice. We need to embody the energy. It's great to have a mala with a proper symbol on it, but if we don't use it, if we don't use that to be the energy, it's just decorative. I always say, hey, I've got a mala. These are functional, and I do my medicine Buddha practice typically, but it's really important that we practice. So I'm trying very hard not to buy lots of stuff because I love it and it's gorgeous and it's beautiful and it's wonderful to have as mementos, but we need to practice.
Yeah, and it is an important thing because we're being shopping mad, and as soon as we see a Reiki symbol on it, we're all right up buys it. But does it even get out of the cupboard and dusted off? Probably not.
Yeah.
It's just a nice, pretty thing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and it reminds us of a great trip. But we need to practice.
We can use it. One that's functional. And so, because I know you're sort of moving into semi-retirement now, but you are still going to do some Reiki healing or teaching?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm actually about to move from Victoria after 32 years to Vancouver, and I will have a second bedroom so I can have a Reiki room.
Okay.
And expect to practice. I need to update a book list. I have a book list on librarything.com, and that's my bibliography of all the books. It's a little behind, but working on it. And those kinds of projects.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so have you got a business name, or is it just under your name?
I have walterquan.com, and it's a very rudimentary website with a pointer to the Library Thing website as well. But that hopefully should get updated in 2024.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you, and because I've known you for quite a few years, but more over the internet because you're so far away. So it's lovely to be in person and had some amazing conversations. I've been listening to you for days and hours and weeks. You're also a bundle of joy to be around because you got lovely presence about you. And even working we've been doing some healing and practices and stuff. Your energy is very, it's got a soft gentleness to it, and even the way you touch is a soft gentleness. And so, you can really feel that warmth and nurturing energy from you. So if anyone's in Vancouver or Canada and it's a Reiki practitioner, I'll put all links below, and feel free to check him out. And well worth your visit. And happy to keep in contact with you and keep that connection, because I think that's a lovely thing with Reiki, is connections.
Yeah.
Connections and networks.
This network is pretty fabulous.
And beautiful energy as well. So,
thank you.
So if you like this, put a comment below and maybe tell us your Reiki journey. Love to hear about it. Keep shining your light, and peace to you all. Arigato gozaimasu.